Will it start? That, friends, is the real question. Oh, she started. Sounds good. Good. Well, I might be selling the Corvette today. What are the odds? Is this the first vlog of the new channel? Selling the Corvette? I just got some fresh New Balances too. Bittersweet day. Bittersweet day. What is going on, everybody? First vlog of the new channel. Hopefully it's decent. If you're here from Speed Culture Studios, I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for stopping in as well. I got a different vision for this channel. A little bit different than what we did at Speed Culture Studios. Want to have more of a fun, entertainment, vlog style channel. Maybe we'll explore some different topics. We'll discuss some different things. Still with an automotive undertone though. If you're into that kind of stuff, maybe you'll consider subscribing, sticking around, and seeing how things evolve. Still working on a bit of a name, wanting to pay homage to the other channel, want to try to incorporate my name a little bit. We'll see, still working on it. We'll see how it all plays out. Good night. This thing rips. These silver coilovers do seem to ride really nice, so that's a huge positive. Not sure about the ride height though. They tend to ride a little bit high, actually, from what I'm seeing. I installed them on my C5 Corvette, and I had to get the super lows, which dropped it a little bit further, like another half an inch or so. And the front honestly still sits too high for me on the Corvette. And these are lowered as far as they can possibly go, and it's still a little bit high for me. I'll show you guys in a minute. Okay, I just saw the stance of the car coming back from the gas station. Maybe I was wrong about these coilovers. Here's one I've been waiting for a little bit. This, of course, is a rear sway bar for the SQ5 from 034 Motorsport, along with some adjustable end links. A couple of weeks ago, my wife asked me what sway bar the SQ5 had in it, so I took that as a green light to order one. In spite of the fact that the Audi SQ5 is a 4,400 pound top heavy SUV, it doesn't take all that much to really change how this thing handles on the road. A rear sway bar paired with some adjustable end links makes a night and day difference, and installation is pretty easy too, so that's just an added bonus. There really aren't that many upgrades or modifications that you can make to a vehicle using just basic hand tools on a couple of jack stands in your garage that make such a massive, noticeable difference. It is a very tight fit. We'll see if just doing one side works. So I ended up having to pull one of the end links off just to bypass the lower control arm in the rear and loosen the exhaust brackets on both sides. So I think what I'm going to do is get the sway bar in place, then connect the end links. A little bit of a difference between the two. The factory sway bar did fight me a little bit coming out, but loosening the exhaust a little bit gave me a little bit of extra wiggle room, and I was able to pull it out of there with not much trouble. The 034 sway bar package is actually really nice. Look at these brackets. Super clean. Sway bars have been a go-to upgrade for me on a number of my vehicles, including 350Zs, an Infiniti Q50, Corvettes, Mustangs, you name it. Rear sway bar, again, makes such a big difference on how the car handles on the road, both from a safety standpoint, but just also from a pure enjoyment standpoint. Living in the mountain region of South Carolina, there are a lot of curvy, twisty roads with elevation changes, and it just makes the car much more fun to drive. I'm barely out of the neighborhood and I can already feel the difference. You can feel the stiffness in the rear end. Just gotta see if the wife notices the difference now. Got a super busy day today, actually on the way to a paintless dent removal place. I got one little ding in the hood. Getting that fixed before going in for a paint correction at EPM Detailing next week. I'm trying to get this thing sorted for springtime and summer, because of course we got a lot of shows and events. And I also got a new part in for the SQ5, one that my wife doesn't necessarily want, but I think she's gonna like it. She's a ways out here, but they do really good work, so it's worth the drive. Got a really nice little Lexus for sale out here too, 2023, but I think the rear bumper's been painted, so not interested, but definitely really nice. 23 minutes, in and out, all done. It just doesn't do it justice, but the SQ5 eats these corners up at speed with no problem at all. Feels super planted, super responsive. Couldn't be more happy with the upgrade. Put a couple miles on the new sway bar now, so just underneath the car checking things out, making sure everything is tight. Doing a little chassis stiffening while I'm here too. Remove this little center brace. There you can see the new ECS brace there underneath the exhaust. Too bad you can't see it. It is a nice looking piece, but pretty substantial. Should add a little bit of rigidity to the chassis, which is always good. Maybe it'll prevent some of that creaking from the sunroof. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Not usually a fan of spoilers on SUVs, to be honest, but the SQ5 sort of has a stubby rear end. It's kind of long toward the front, and then the back just kind of ends. And I think it just needs a little bit more to sort of extend it out, just kind of balance it. So I don't know if this is gonna fit, just looking at the contours. It's a good looking spoiler, but let's see. Very surprised actually how flat and flush it fits on the back edge. But look at this. Too long. It would all lay down nice too. I just have it set up here. But the problem is it's too long. I wonder if I can heat it. If I can heat it and bend it. I don't know. It fits so perfect in the areas that it fits, but it's like an inch too long. It would look sick. Kind of like the little duckbill flip. Might help keep the back window a little cleaner. I'll just try it out a little with a little heat, see if we can't get it to work. If not, no big deal, we'll send her back. Close, but not close enough. No spoiler going on the SQ5 today. I'm trying to do a little bit of organization in the garage. I just got way too much stuff and not enough storage space. I'm trying to call a bunch of stuff. I got so many parts. It's unbelievable. So I've tossed a bunch of stuff, done a little organizing, and list a bunch of things for sale. I got 350Z parts, I got Corvette parts, I got Q50 parts, Nissan Titan stuff. Oh, geez, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Wheels and tires. And I feel like I got some plans for this garage. I'm not quite sure what I can make happen, but I'm tired of it being like this. I can say that. Part of being an automotive enthusiast is taking a vehicle and adding your own personal touches. And one way to do that is by painting the brake calipers. I'm just going to do a quick and dirty version of a paint caliper upgrade. I'm not even really going to tape them off all that well, but you'll see in the end it's going to make a huge difference on how this car looks. With any paint project, prep is key, of course. So on these caliper covers, I actually started with 400 grit sandpaper, then moved to 600 and then 800 grit. I probably didn't need to use 400, but I wanted to make sure I got through the SQ5 logo and didn't leave any remnants behind. Going up to 800 is important to get rid of all the scratch marks. We're spraying a high gloss finish on this thing, and high gloss reflects a lot of light and would make even some of the finest scratch marks visible. We wanted to make sure that didn't happen. I just went straight to 800 grit sandpaper for the calipers themselves because I had just recently painted these gloss black, so I just needed to rough up the surface. I primed the caliper covers because I did expose some metal, and then just went back to 800 grit to make sure they were nice and smooth before spraying some color. You can see I didn't really try that hard to tape anything off. I was just trying to be careful where I got overspray. But I did about 3 coats of color, starting off with a pretty light coat just to make sure we had good adhesion, and then moved on to clear. I'm going to do about 4 coats of clear on these things just to make sure it's nice and thick and glossy. So just giving a little bit of time between coats. I think I got about 2 more left. I decided to actually keep the rear calipers black because the standard style brake calipers just don't look good when they're painted a color. They just stand out more than they should because they're not a nice design. However, the dude put a little Audi decal on there just to give it a little bit of a pop to stand out from the black wheels. I think that's gonna look sick. Yeah, actually pretty pumped about that. Painted the upper arm of the knuckle too, black. Looks really nice against that silvers coilover. I got fresh SQ5 decals for the brake cover too. And no, I'm actually not going to clear over the decals. I never do that. A lot of people will say in the comments, I'm sure, oh, you should clear over the No, I don't clear over the decals. It makes it easier to swap them out if you want to. It makes it easier to change color. You don't have to sand through them, and I just hate doing it. Hopefully we don't peel any of the paint off. Oof, they are strong. We'll get a closer look once we get this thing cleaned up. It is too dirty to even feature right now. First Cars and Coffee of the year this week, so that's going to be a big one. I think the weather's supposed to be nice, so there should be a ton of cars. We also got to get my wife out in the SQ5 to see if she likes how it rides now with the new sway bar. It's freezing cold this morning, but really looking forward to the first Cars and Coffee of 2025. first cars and coffee of 2025. I could walk around for hours looking at all these cars, but I got to get back to the house and get my wife behind the wheel of the SQ5 and see what she thinks about that rear sway bar. Let's go.
Should I go fast?
Yeah. No. Jeez, hurry. Oh my God.
Whoa. This is what I wanted.
Jeez, honey.
That was a nice curve.
This is a road you're used to taking, so you should be able to tell that
I'll be able to
be able to really tell the difference.
Because I always felt like I was going to flip.
Yeah.
Turn over my side.
Lots of body roll. That should be eliminated. Is that funny?
A body roll?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a body roll, like someone rolling, like. Here it comes. Oh yeah. That's nice.
Really doesn't show up on film, but you really feel how nimble it feels compared to what it was.
We can take this thing to the BMW track, and I don't think I'd body roll.
Does it feel stiff like you like it?
I like it stiff.
So you can tell the difference?
Yeah. I feel safer because I do tend to drive faster, and I always feel like I'm going to roll the car, and now I feel safer to drive faster. Well, that's why I wanted to know what kind of sway bar we had on this thing. I have to have a nice sway bar so I can feel safe going really fast around there to get ahead of them. That's all I can say, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry already.
It's good. That's exactly what we're going for this 034 Motorsports sway bar. Well, I'd say that was a pretty big success overall. Great first cars and coffee of the year. A lot of really nice cars there. Excellent turnout as always. Looking forward to more of those this spring and summer. Sway bar installation on the SQ5 went really well, and the wife is happy, and that is the key. Steering input is really precise and crisp. Love how a car feels in the corners now. Really planted, really firm. It feels super nimble, and that's exactly what we're going for. The wife is happy, of course, and that was the key. Installation is relatively simple and straightforward. The adjustable end links make a big difference as well, believe it or not. It's really amazing what a simple upgrade like a rear sway bar can do for a vehicle like this. Totally different animal on the road. Looking forward to exploring some more upgrades for this Audi SQ5. Big shout out again to 034 Motorsport for the support. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one.